Alright, we got this nice older Echo. What is it? A PB 403? Yeah, 403T. And she's an older machine. Customer actually dropped this off quite some time ago, a couple of months back. I've been so busy. An older fella, and he says it belongs to his dad. And the complaint is it runs, it could be a little difficult to start, but really the thing is, it doesn't sing. What we'll do is we'll bring it outside and we'll see if we can get it started. Hopefully it starts. I mean, listen, the fuel is old. You can see everything's been sitting. But I think after that, whether it starts or not, we'll see what we can do. We'll run it for a little bit. We'll pull off all these plastics and everything. Try to get in here a little bit. Get some super clean on it. Get it cleaned up. And we'll pull the carburetor. We'll get the gas tank cleaned out. Some of these gas tanks are hard to take out, so we'll have to suck it out. We're going to go over it and try to replace whatever we can. We'll go through the carburetor and see if we can get it to work better, if we can get it to sing. I don't know. What do you think will happen? I mean, these two-strokes, we also want to test to see what the compression is, so maybe we'll even do that after we try to get it to run. It does seem like it wants to pull over, but it feels... Yeah, oh, fellas, I don't know. I think the first thing that we should do, let's see, we'll put it to the switching, right? Switch needs to be lubed. We'll set it to stop. You know what, let's pull this off and put some of our specialty juice in there. We'll put some of the tranny flavored sauce in, and then we'll pull it over and get it to loosen up a little bit because it feels awfully tight. Hold on. All right, the problem you have is you can get false compression reading because it's all glued up right now. It's jammied up. This stuff becomes like it's a combination of sludge that will accumulate down in here in the chamber down here, which is the crankcase. Plug looks good. Let me show you. Not terrible. So the gasoline boils off of it. Once that happens, what's left in there is a sludge. It's like a thick molasses. And then the cylinder walls and everything and the rings get coated with this stuff, and it will give you a false compression reading. So this is half tranny sauce, half gasoline. I'm just gonna go slow. Just let it drooze around. Now let me go get another plug. Hold on. And we're gonna force that stuff through. I don't want to use this plug because it looks good. Anything to just block up the hole and push this juice around. That sounds good. I like that. All right, now let's push this juice around. Let's throw it in there by hand. Oh, that's better, fellas. Wow. She's still a little bit. Yeah, hear it though? Yeah, but still a little sticky. Yeah, that pushed it around. Let's clear it with low pressure air. And now we'll do a spark test and a spolic test, and we'll do a compression test first. And I'll just yell it out at you. Okay. If I can see it. Oh, you know what I mean? Lock it up a little bit. Oh yeah, we got almost 150, so I don't have to go any further. So we're good there. Let's just do a quick spark test. A spark test. Well, let me get a sip of my coffee. Getting all tongue-tied. All right, with his plug. See if I can see it. Might light what's in there. Let's turn it back on again. Well, I'm not seeing anything. Yeah. Uh-oh. Let's get a better plug. You know, these plugs go bad too. Perhaps I'll get my spark tester out. Here's a nice clean plug. Let's take a peek. And then I may have to ground it better. Yeah, I see something. It's not great though. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me clean off this plug real fast. We'll pop it back in, and we'll put some two-stroke into that, and we'll bring it outside, and we'll try and bottle feed it. Let's take this air cover off and look at the air cleaner. Air cleaner is beautiful. So somebody tried to do something, and then we'll try and bottle feed it. I'll be right back. All right, now we'll put in, I got the plug nice and clean. Now we're going to put this in because we want to do it right away. Oh, that's plenty. And it'll rinse it out. Plus I put a little no-seize on, and I checked the gap. It's good. She's clean. Oh, that gasket's not even seated. See, that's the thing that people do. They don't know how to seat these gaskets. So it's like a gasket washer, crush washer gasket. Make sure it's on. I don't know what the hell it says. It doesn't really say. All right, so up is choke. Yeah, so what we want to do is have it down. We want the choke off. Oh boy, there's too much in there. I might have to put it down on the ground. Let's not hydro lock it. Go slow. Yeah, all right, she's a little hydro lock. Okay, hold on. Don't force it. That's okay, it'll pull it through. That's good. Let's wipe that up a little. There's a lot of goobers in there. That's good, it's cleaning it out. Alright, that's good. Alright, now let's pour it down the throat. You can kind of get to it. It's gonna be a little messy. It's on. Do we have a throttle lock? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we got a throttle lock. That was too much for it. All right, so it does run. Runs okay. So this is premium with my mix. Let's just do that again just to make sure we're okay. Full throttle. Yeah, she won't suck on that beet fuel and everything. All right, good. So not too bad, but you see, if you give it the right amount of fuel, it should be okay. Now, we have good compression, but that could still be a lie. We might want to do another compression test, and we'll do that real quick. If that's still around 150 or so, we'll move forward. But what can happen is there can be vacuum leaks from from other lines and things, that gaskets and the seal. Now we don't see a tremendous amount of dirt anywhere. It's not terrible, because if you see a lot of greasy, oily dirt, that's one of the indications, and I've talked about this before. So let's just do another quick compression test on it. Pull this plug out. Nice thing too is any of that schmutz that was in there, we've kind of tried to pull away now. And if this test is okay, and we'll move forward, I'll jam some tissues or a small rag in here. We'll put the cover back. We'll take this cover off, and we'll get out our super clean, and just with the hose. Yeah, she's not terrible. I mean, she soiled the plug up, but you saw all the smoke coming out. Let me go get the compression gauge. Yeah, just under 150. So that's about where it was before. So 125, 130, 135, 140, about 145. That's fine. We're okay. So like I said, they can lie to you. If it's all sticky and everything and all gummed up, either you'll have no compression or it'll show you like you'll have a lot of compression. And then when you throw a mix in there, it could just be two-stroke too, slosh it around, get everything loosened up, and you come dry it out and come back, you'll see. I've seen motors come down below 100. If that happens, it's done. But like I said, we could still have issues somewhere else. We could have a problem with a leak on the front of the seal over here that we really can't get to. We may want to try, and probably have all these line issues here, so we're going to need to get some new lines. Let's go to the next step. I'll put the plug back. We'll take this off. We'll shove something in here to keep the water off of it, and we'll take this thing apart and see what we need. All right, we got some foamy on it. Quick thanks and shout out to Super Clean, along with the foamy. Let me wipe my hand off. So I'm actually using a weakened version. That's 50/50 over there on the right. And we're just going to let it soak up while I'm doing some other things. It's pretty dirty. And I'll give it a rinse. And then we're going to separate the actual machine from the backpack, which is easy to do. There's some bolts in the front. Just have to disconnect it there. And we'll loosen this up so we can pull the handle out of the way. I don't think we actually... Yeah, we just have to take it out from there. And then we'll unbolt it. And then we can get to the other side of the tank, because we got to get to this tank. So that'll give us a little bit more working room, and we're probably going to have to order a new fuel line and everything, because these things use those special grommet fuel lines. But sometimes I can get away with making my own. We won't know until we get that tank out. So let it kind of do its thing, and I'll be back. 8mm here, and then these guys up there, I believe. And then we have the ones on the bottom. We already got the one on that side. There's a whole bunch on the bottom, so you'll get in. I'll get you in close. I lube them up a little bit. You get all these peanut style things. I think these are Allen's, but I can't see it right now. All right, so let me pull those out. Yeah, they're Allen. Metric. Okay, get on it. Yeah, down here. These little guys. That 8mm. You can also use a pair of diagonal cutters, like real tight ones. To grab it like this. Not to cut it, just to persuade it. You got it up a little bit more, see? Yeah, because we're really going to be hosing it. So everything's going to come apart anyway. Yeah, see? Trim tools. Okay. Trim tools help. Nice plastic ones too. I have the metal ones as well. Plus you could use those little, what the hell they call them? Us carpenters use them now. I haven't been a carpenter in so long. It looks like this except it's metal. It's a trim tool, but flat bar. The smaller ones, yeah. See, this screws up in there. And there's remnants of stuff up in here. So we might as well just take this off completely. and we'll get everything nice and clean. I know you can't always see me. I'm just doing a quick camera setup. This stuff isn't really super, important. See, look. And then, of course, you got these. Those long bolts at the 8mm. And that's what's going to hold on our tank. That's it. And are there any more? Nope. So there you go. All right. It's actually on a hinge. It's like on a plastic hinge. So let's see. There's a lot of leaves stuck in there too. Let me get you in close. Hold on. Let me get the other camera. I just, while it's dirty and it's here, and just so you can get a shot of this, and I'll bring it outside. All right. Don't want to forget about these. These are like they go behind. There's one over here. Let me show you. Yeah. Hold on. Let me get the other camera. See the way the backing nut goes? It goes behind this little foot. Okay. There's one there, and there. The other one's here. It goes behind that little foot. And that's what you're screwing into from here with the little plate that goes on the other side. See the hinge? See these bolts? Let's take these out. That one's a little stuck. I'll get the other one in a minute. Little junk stuck in there. We'll get that out. Everything else looks okay. We'll get that all rinsed out. And then we'll get this cleaned out tonight. Okay, and then this scissors, but you might have to pry this vibration mount here a little bit, just away from the plastic. But then that scissors down, see? Now this is ready. We'll bring this outside, separate from the base. And I'll check to make sure that these peanuts aren't loosening up. We don't want to lose anything, but so just be cautious. Oh boy, what have I done? Hold on, let me move this aside for a second. I wanted to show you this. All right, so you see how it sets up? Let's take this off. Now you can take it off. But you got to put it on before you put the lines on. Don't forget. You guys got to remind me. Let's take a peek in here. So this is kind of neat. You see the lines. And they look like they're okay. Let's turn it upside down and see. I don't think they're leaking. They look like they are in good shape. Now, let's look at the fuel. Yeah, that fuel's not bad. Is there any mung in it? No. I want to see if we can get in there, fellas. It smells newer. Hold on, let me move this out of the way. Let me move this. But I don't see anything wrong with it. I blew through this with my low pressure airline, and then I sucked and blew. It feels a little bit restricted. So we kind of want to poke with it. See what we can get out of it. I'd like to take it out. Of course, we want to be careful because we don't want to damage it. I also don't want to poke my finger. That's why I put a little bit of our release agent on it, and just bear with me for a bit. Sometimes you can get them up. We may have to get a new one. I don't know. They're very difficult to get in, but it's coming. Here we go. Let's get a little bit more on. You might want to replace the filter and the line. Here we go. See? Yeah, that line's a little bit beat. Can we get this guy out? No. Okay, so this guy must have went in this way. So I'm thinking that this filter is shot. It's lodged with old fuel. So let me see if I can get my hemostats in there. We can get it by cutting it here too. So we'll just cut it. But that length we want. We'll try and get it out. Should come out through here. Yeah, I'm thinking It's one of these. They actually come apart and you can clean them. I'll show you what I mean. They're nice and weighted. See what I mean? Get that one. And see? They're nicely weighted. Now, let's see. Sometimes you can get them apart the rest of the way. It's a felt. It's dry. It's a little dry and solid. Yeah. Not a bad system. When it's dry, so they can get kind of beat. We'll see if we can clean it. I don't think you can, though. It might just be too dry. So, good idea is to put another one. Let me see if I have another one. Yeah, so this is a new one. And it blows through nice. You can really feel it. It's good to just try it. The other one, we might be able to save it, but it needs to soak. And it's probably no good. So, of the bigger lines, I like to buy the HIPAA pack. Go to HIPAAstore.com. And their packaging is mostly internal numbers, and I've spoken with them about that. I don't know if they've changed it, so it doesn't do you any good. But the standard line is 3/16. This is bigger. In fact, they're both basically the same internal size. This is a bigger than 3/16 line. They also have a smaller than 3/16 line, which we will be using. On this one, you may be able to see it. The wall, there's a different thickness in the wall. It's very slight. This is the bigger one. I like to save these. This is common. It's just a little bit bigger in the hole inside. I like the slightly larger hose, diameter hose, because sometimes when you're putting it through a gas tank or a grommet that's a little older, but it's not bad, you shove the slightly larger hose through, it makes the seal we need. We don't have to wait and order specialty items. So for here, I'm going to use this line. I got quite a bit of it, so we're going to need quite a lot of it because this is the line we're going to be running all the way up. So this is like the correct length. It just fits in there real nice. So we're going to use it. Leave it a little bit longer. Now the other piece is going to be useful for the continuation line that goes all the way up to the carburetor. We're going to get that off in a little bit. So let's see if we can just kind of nibble this off here without damaging the pipe. It's actually got a nice little pipe. Yeah, that's better. So this will screw you up, by the way. If that filter gets a little too dry or your filter is a little too clogged, it will restrict the flow up to the carburetor. The carburetor won't work right. It may not come up to full RPM. It won't sing. Now it goes on this end pretty good, but the other end's a touch bigger. So I'm going to take my real needle nose, and these are like needle nose, like my nose. I got a Roman nose. It's Roman all over my face. And just kind of flex it a little bit. Just kind of loosen up. You can use a heat gun. We may have to. Put a little lube on this. Another thing you can do too, if you really want. Take a little touch of Scotch Brite. Sometimes I even use a little acid. We'll just clean up these ends a little. That's better. Oh yeah. That's better. Let me blow it. Okay. It's a little bit better. A little bit of that on there. Let's see if we can get it on. All right, we may have to flare it a little bit more. Maybe not. There we go. Okay, we got it on there. Now we got to get it back in. All right, so the way they did it, right, is they came up through here, but this one's a little smaller because theirs doesn't fit. And try to get it down and around. So this is important because, is that guy gonna go? Yeah, she's okay. Now I'm gonna go try to work this in. It's not gonna be easy. Probably gonna want to put my gloves on. I don't want to damage it, destroy it. One of the ways we can do it is we take this guy out, okay, and that'll give us a little bit more room to work and sort of push and pry. Now I need a screwdriver, but we want something blunt. We don't want to damage it, so you don't want any burrs or anything. Let me see. So if you can just take something that's a little piece of paper, and paper, a little something. This is our favorite stuff, crocus cloth style, comes on a roll. Just make sure there's no burrs, rounding edges, and be Ginger. Hi, Ginger. So I'm going to work this for a little bit. It's going. A little bit more. Should put my other gloves on in case I stab myself. Yeah, we got it. Now, hopefully we got it in the right way. These wanted to come this way. That one wants to go that way. I think this one goes here. Yeah, because it's coming up this way. I'll go check my footage, but... and then we'll plug that one in. Okay. All nice and clean. I checked inside the tank, right? We poured it out. He's been very good that way. So kudos to the guy. You know, we don't see junk inside the tank or anything. There's no water. And this might have been largely the problem, but you know, we need to go in next. All right, I'll be back in a minute. I think we're okay. It's fitting in there nice. I'm just looking down to make sure she is in where we want it. It's a little bit sticking up. I think it's sticking up here. We need to get it to go down in the hole. So let me see. So now that it's pliable, all right, I'm going to spend a minute because it's got to come down into here. And it's not. It's up here. So if we have to take it out or whatever. Unfortunately, this is what we go through when we do this stuff. I think we got it, fellas. It's down there. Yep. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Let's go get the carburetor. Well, fellas, I think at some point, or maybe at a certain point in a project like this, when you're looking around and you're going, oh my God, there's all this crap I took apart. We still have a few more things to take apart. We're not done taking stuff apart. Well, you might be thinking two things, one leading to the other. You might be thinking, well, Arch, how the hell are you going to put that back together again? And then, of course, that might lead you to, Arch, how the hell am I going to put that back together again? You want me to do all of this? I got to take all this apart? And you might be thinking, what the hell am I going to do? Well, I have a few suggestions for you guys. Some stuff I like to keep around for these kind of moments when I may lose a part or whatever, and I'm not really sure what to do, and I just need to put it back together again. Let me introduce you to a couple of ideas, things that I like to keep around the shop for just those moments. Duct tape. Duct tape is the answer to a lot of your problems. Around the house, around the shop, around the car. You have some electrical tape, which I'm getting low on, which means, well, I'm not going to be able to put probably this together. I used to have a tape drawer, your hot glue gun. So take pictures of what you're doing along the way, and leave little notes, make a folder, maybe drop it on your computer or your laptop. Organize it, right? Get it? This is all clean, and so it's all basically organized, laid out. At the end of the day, I could see it. And I was thinking I could do a little bit more. It's the end of the day, and I'm like, no, because we'll get to a certain point where don't rush it. If I had pushed any more yesterday, I probably would have screwed something up. It's enough. It's all clean. It's ready. We have to take a few more things apart. I got a bucket, little container of screws and bolts, and I don't know where they go. But I'll figure it out, because when we go to put it back together again, what we're going to be doing is looking at it in a microcosm. Each little part. There's screws for this, there's screws for that, there's screws for that, there's screws. They will reveal themselves to you. Lay them out and count them. If you've got 4 holes, and there's 4 holes there, and there's 4 holes here, there may be different screws. Go look at your footage and say, oh, I know what screw it is. Do I have 4 of those bolts, or did I lose one? Oh, there's only 3 of this kind, this one kind. Why is there only 3? Well, somewhere in here, there's only 3. There's actually only 3 of one kind right here, actually, right out of the shot. They're not going to go anywhere else. They're going to go there. So, and then you're building sub-assemblies. These are assemblies within assemblies, and there are things known as sub-assemblies. The carburetor itself is a sub-assembly. So when we go to take that off, we're going to put just those screws aside. A little while, we're going to put it up on the bench over there, and we're just going to focus on that sub-assembly. Try to do whatever we can. If we have to order parts for it, put all of that in a separate box and put it aside, and we'll move on. If we can finish it, we'll get everything together and put it back on the machine, and then we'll move to the next thing. So we got these 2 bolts here. Notice the fuel line, and we want to take a measurement of this. We're going to try to replace it. You got this little clamping setup here for the cable and the line. So look at that. And you can actually see in there, look, one of those lines actually came off. You know what, let me get a screwdriver, and you'll get a closer look at this when we take it off. But look, right here at that little metal nub, that's where the small line goes. The small line is there, see it? And the bigger line goes up out of our way, we can't see it. The cable comes in here, see the cable? So I'm going to go take this off now, and that'll all come right off, and I'll try to bring you in and show you, because like I said, you don't take these off. We don't need to take those off unless there's a problem with the engine, and maybe we'll talk about that later, but that might be just an adapter, or there could be a reed valve or something in there too. It depends upon the design. I don't know. I'm not looking at a diagram. So just a good look at the orientation, and back out to show you where we are. So this is the plug here, top of the machine, right? I put a little bit of my 2-stroke mix on that. See, here's the little guy. That's our vent. And it looks like it broke or came off. Probably broke. Let's just see if we can... Sometimes if you put the 2-stroke or my stuff on and you twist it, usually when they're good, they come right off, right? Like this, but you see what I mean? Okay. Now we're going to use this for sizing, and this little coil wrap, I still have some of this around. It's good, it helps keep it together, helps protect it. We'll clean that up and we'll reuse it in a bit. And so the screws go through here, see? And what I'm going to do, just real quick, I want to clean this off. So we'll put this to the side. This is already pretty clean. We'll blow it out. It's got mixture screws on it. So I'm going to just kind of dress it down with a little bit of solvent real fast. Hold on, let's take this, and it gets warmer and it starts to percolate up. Oh, this is, it's kind of clean solvent, kind of. So I'll use this first. Let me go over this, and then we'll take it apart, and I'll peek in. I'll take it apart, and then, like I said, we'll peek in it. I don't need to take it apart in front of you, because many of you guys have seen these carburetors and everything before, but you can see all the debris. And we got in there pretty good with the super clean, and remember, take pictures, right, if you're not sure. But we want to make sure we get all the overburden debris off, because you don't want to open it up, because you could accidentally knock this debris back in again. All right, started to bring it open, and you can actually see there is a little dirt. Oh, it's in there. So I take like an acid brush and I cut the bristles down, and we'll go in there with a little solvent and spin it. Look, it already picked up a lot of it. And then you can finish up too if you want with a Q-tip or something, but be careful with the Q-tips because you could leave a little strand that you may not see. Put your glasses on. There's goop all up underneath here, so we're going to want to get that. So he does have some dirt in the carburetor, and even though I rinsed it off, so you want to be careful with these. That might be bad. This is like a valve bladder Mylar. That might be bad. We won't know. Sometimes you got to replace those. So with my, either with 2-stroke or with, this is the half transmission fluid, half fuel, and we're just gonna lightly, and then take a cleaner towel or tissue or something. Yeah, let me get a cleaner one. Blue lint free or something. And just real careful. Blot it. Make sure there's no dirt. And we'll set that to the side. The valves look okay. But if it doesn't run right, that'll be it. And we'll have to get a kit. I think it says C1M on that. I don't know what brand carburetor this is. I don't know what Echo used. We'll just pry that up real careful. Well, there's no real dirt in there, but we'll just spray it lightly. Yeah, and that's not terrible. That's our diaphragm. It's not terrible. And then the gasket's underneath. So we shouldn't need to remove the gasket. We should be able to just, let's put our release agent on there, which is my tranny fluid mix. It does a really good job. And it won't affect the gaskets in a bad way, or the diaphragms or anything. If anything, it'll actually help them out. Let me go see if I have one of these. And what you're looking for, yeah, it came off okay. It's not terrible. It's in pretty good shape. And what you're looking for is the hole arrangement and the depth of this plunger. How far it sticks out. You want to match all that up. All right, so we're okay there. And even this is in good shape, the primer bulb. Somebody might have been in here. There's definitely a bit of dirt. So we're going to press that plunger down a little bit here, just to kind of come through. It'll come out the other side. That's our fuel line. Of course, in all these holes. Shouldn't need a lot. We're not going to take these out. I don't think it's that dirty. If we have to, we'll have to come back to it. But I'm more concerned about the. That's like your the Mylar part. That's kind of like your valves. All right, I think that's it, fellas. You don't need a lot because we've already cleaned it. So I don't like to spend a lot of time with gum out. All right, I'm going to go through this. We blow low pressure air. About 5, 10, 15 pounds. Don't get too close. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing there. She looks good. A little bit of oxidation up in that tube. I can almost see it, but we're not worried about that. That screen's good. And a light, quick blow through this guy. Be careful with this, because there's another little. I think there's like a little diaphragm or something in here. It's like a check thing. That's good. Let me blow that. blow a little bit more in through this hole, these two holes. There was fuel in it, so it was working. That's it. Blow that out. That's clean. We'll set that aside. Let me go find... This is fine too. There's nothing wrong with this. Little transfer port there. Right now I'm going to go find a replacement for the diaphragm, and we'll put it back together. I got one from HIPAA. Now again, you need to go on their website and look for this stuff. Everything is a little bit different, but this one's a little beat, fellas. But we're going to put a little bit of our sauce on here. We want to get them just a little bit activated. And everything lines up. So again, I checked the length of that little dimple, that actuator. And we got, well, we got this guy. That's our vent. And this one, oh, we got to clean that a little bit. I got a little nasty. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just give it a dunk. Let me take it apart. Hold on. The screws have a little bit of junk on them too, so we'll grab a little something. Let me see what I have. Swish them around. Even though I cleaned it, there's a little bit of dirt in this area here. Somebody might have been in here. Or maybe they just did this. Cross pattern. A little bit on this gasket. It's got to go up underneath that throttle, so you just have to shove the throttle a little bit. I don't like it when they get too bulgy, but we'll find out. That would be the thing that we would be critical of at this point. And what we can do here is put it on this guy first, because it's got those little locating pins. So this would be the thing that I would be eyeing. Hopefully we don't need a kit. All right, now I'm done with this. I'm going to go cut my hoses to length. And I want to clean that spiral wrap just a little bit. Just pull it through with a rag or something. And just like pre-assemble it. So again, sub-assembly, that's done. All right, make sure everything is moving, that you didn't disrupt anything. All right, I'll be back. A big shout out. Oh, what the hell are you saying? Nobody really knows what the hell he's saying. It's that New York accent. Listen, fellas. And lady, because there's usually like one lady watching. Big shout out to Super Clean, longtime sponsor of this channel. I know I should be getting closer to this, but you guys see this product all the time. You see how dirty this thing was and how beautiful it's coming out. It's getting very clean. And you might be thinking, well, you know, aluminum and arch, you know, I've used it. I've dissolved carburetors. I hear you. Okay, so this is a very weak, I wrote weak. Not like days of the week, but weak as in I'm tired of, like today, like I'm weak. I don't feel like doing anything. Tired, I'm cranky, I'm getting older. It's a little bit more than 50-50. Like it's more water, a little bit more water than Super Clean in it. And you could do it like dirty windows and just all kinds of stuff you could do with a much weaker solution. And then this one, this is sometimes I put like a mix of things in some of these old bottles, by the way, because these are chemical sprayers. So this has got a touch of bleach mix in it. And a lot of times I'll change my mix. I add other bottles as well, because they're good bottles, so they're actually useful that way. No offense to Super Clean, but you know, and this is full strength. And again, over here, my pump sprayer, hold on, wait. My little pump sprayer, okay, I'll mix all kinds of stuff in here, but it tends to be, like you never want to mix certain chemicals with other chemicals, so I don't want to suggest that you should do that. I've been doing this a long time, I kind of know. The shop is still here. I still have all my fingers and toes for now. And things can be dangerous. So whenever you want to add something, I like to put the concentrate in first, and with this stuff, and add a little bit of water. But a lot of people will tell you, depending upon the concentrate, you would never do that. You would have the water, for example, the dilute, the thing that you're going to be diluting with, in first, figure out what that is, and then you add a little bit of the concentrate. That's typically how in chemistry they tell you to do it. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a little safer. Because remember, if you're adding something to a concentrate, well, you could upset that balance quickly and you have concentrate in there. So I'll fool around with like different things I'll put in or whatever, things that I know I can enhance the super clean with, different strengths, and then you pump it up and spray it. It's a lot easier on yourself and on the hand and the squeezer, and so that's an idea. And then of course full strength. And I find that what's in the spray foam, the product that makes it, the piece of it that the component that makes it foamy, makes it, I feel, a little bit less concentrated, a little not as strong. So if I'm washing a part and I'll spray it down or whatever, and I'll try to wet it up with water and then some full strength. And if I see areas that are kind of glommy, I'll put the foamy on. Or sometimes it's just a little bit wet and I don't want a lot of material on. I just want quick, good coverage, right? The foamy goes on because it just sprays on, comes right out of the can. You'll get to know these kinds of things if you use a product like this for a while. Wear glasses, wear gloves. And I can't forget, hiding over here. And of course, lastly, this stuff is actually really good. This is like your dry Zorb, floor absorbent. Because like the other day, I made a big mess and I turned to Super Clean to help me out. Thanks, Super Clean. All right, I lubed this up with my tranny sauce. And earlier, I took this off, cleaned the end off because it was a little nasty, lifted this up and rolled in some of my tranny sauce into there. Use chain lube too. And that'll help. Put the carb on now. This might need some adjustment. And it just basically hooks in to the throttle shaft. I've got the carb somewhat loaded here. See? We'll hook it into the throttle shaft in the hole. There's only one hole. And this is already dressed out, kind of neat. And then when we're done with that, and I make sure that the throttle is okay, we'll pull this plate up. Because remember, we washed it. That's one of the things that's nice about these. By the way, this is a PB-403T. And assembled in USA, it's a 09025-197. So that way we know exactly what the model and number code is. Like I said, we want to pull this up because we washed it. And what's nice about these is that the ignition is over here. You can get to it. We also want to pull this up, clean it out, check it out, make sure there's no water got in any of those places, and then we can start assembling it. All right, all dressed out. Okay, now, you don't want to make sure that you're not crimping the lines, and it really shouldn't because it doesn't really tighten here. Tightens down on the cable nut, and right now I've got the lock pulled back, which is, over there, so it's on full throttle, and you want to make sure it's adjusted to where this is the throttle, so it's up against its stop. Try not to get too close. Yeah, that should be focused. I can't see it. And then release it to make sure it comes all the way back. I think we're good to go. This is all dressed out nice. And, well, like I said, we'll go in here now, and this as well. This we can get to later if we want, because it's kind of teetering on this, so we've got to be a little careful. But let's take a peek. It looks real good. So I just blew it out with a little low-pressure air. I'm going to hit a little bit of chain wax. And we're okay over there. All right, checked in the muffler. All right, this is like a gasket type screen. We could try cleaning it. We may have to rip it out. At least this part here. It is somewhat porous. It really is just a spark arrestor, and there is plenty of room for exhaust gases to come out. It's also a diverter. Let me see if I can clean that, and if we still have any issues, we may remove it. Well, that's cleaning up nice. A little bit of lacquer thinner. And I just brush it every now and then. I'll let it soak. Yeah, there's a lot of crap in there. I think it's good enough. I'm going to go blow it out. All right, a little bit of water in there. All right, we're going to blow that out. Put a little bit of chain lube, not wax, on that spring. You want to keep this moving well. A lot of times I've seen them, they get stuck. And we can pass a little chain loop in here and pull it through. It does have a bit of grease in it. We will blow it out as well. We're good there. This is back on. A little bit of no-sees on these bolts. It just Phillips head screws, really. And we don't want to get them rusted on. Again, I put the chain wax on this. We blowed it out. We're good there. We're pretty much ready for the fumbly bits of putting this back together again. All right, we come around through there. This guy just put on. We'll shove that back in. We'll be able to line it up, right, and get it through. Kind of keep it out of our way. I think that's pretty good. It seems to be the way it went. We may have to dress it back out of the way. I don't think there's any other way to do it. But hopefully, it seems about right. I think it was a little short. I made mine a little bit longer. If we have to put a tie wrap or something. Let's see how it lays in there. Now remember those bolts down there? The studs. Right there on the vibration damper. Right there in. The nuts are on it. Then we have to try to fold this up, fellas. And somehow pull this through. We got a bolt, a screw right here. Oh boy. This is really a problem. That is just... See, if this wasn't here, we'd be able to... Well, I want to cut it. It really is a pain in the neck. I mean, I don't even know how you have to try to pull that forward and reach in there and try to get this sandwiched in. Are you kidding me? Yeah, no. Right? That's just a cover. Let's axe that. Okay? Now, I just removed that carefully. Now you can get in here with your stubby, Phillips head. Get to these. You want to make sure these are tight. Don't over tighten it. And these are tight. You don't want to ever suck those into here. That would be bad. Now we can close it up, and we have to see how we can get to these guys. That's going to be interesting. I have to line up. They're a little twisted because there's the sort of nut things that go behind it. I was just checking on this. There are these rubber bushings with the steel sleeve. There's actually a bushing. Can't really see it there. See it's in there a little bit? All right. Now, I was looking at them like, where the hell do they go? Well, they go there, and the threads get messed up quick. So I'm putting some red Loctite. This one's a little cracked. We don't want that to fall out. So I'll tighten them up, let red Loctite, leave them alone. And I can put this back. I thought maybe it went in here, but no, I checked my video, and nope, just the way we have it. Got to put it back. All right, I changed this screw and this screw because when you put that bushing in, it doesn't go in as far. And yeah, the threads were a little blooped. So this is, I save a lot of two-stroke stuff. You know, screws and things. It's a little bit bigger. It's nice and tight. I put the washer back. We're good there. Also with a little bit of Loctite. As I keep saying, we don't want this to loosen up. I think this, partially this is one, it helps to guide the air in. There's a little bit of a space here. And remember, there was some leaves and stuff. It's to help stop some trash, I guess, from getting in there. All right, so far so good. Now, if you look here, they're rotated a bit. You're going to have to adjust them, but, you know, you'll have to poke it in. Now, there's this clip. This clip falls into like a keeper. It's like a slide thing, and it helps hold the keeper for you. Now, what I might do is I might put a little grease on this, tighten it up a little bit so that it doesn't just fall out. We got to clock these a little bit, and you can see it comes pretty close. Oh, here, you know what? Yeah. See, you can see inside. Oh, there's glare. So it looks like it's aiming right through, but I'm going to grease them up a little bit, stick this together. We'll get a little oil or something, and then I can twist them into position, and then the bolts go through. But don't forget, right, we got these are the bolts, and then we got these guys. And we're getting down there, right? We're getting close. I was able to shove this together, and you can kind of reach in there and align it. So I hung one of those, yeah, I'll turn the light on, those little brackets on one bolt, passed it through, kind of grabbed it with my other hand, shoved everything together, gave it a little twist, poked it in, tightened it up, and then a little bit of an adjustment, and I'm good to go. Did I need the grease? Probably not. That just made things more difficult because it may put grease on my hands. So, yeah, you could probably reach in there, see? So you leave that loose. So remember, these got these little plastic things. Now, next step is we go down here. Those are those 4 Allen bolts down there with the washers. And let's see what's after that. All right, I checked in here. Plug is clean again, and I gapped it about 28, a little bit of no seas. Make sure you crush that thread down, the gasket down. A lot of times people put these things in and they're loose. I pulled this apart because I wasn't sure what the hell was going on. It's one of those little springs that grab the tip of the plug, and then there's a poker that goes into the wire. And I think it had been pulled back because I didn't hear it. And listen, I got a little bit of lube in there, but listen. You hear it? Like a little grovelly sound. I didn't hear that. So I pulled it apart, make sure it was okay. It's not rusty. It's like a black oxide. It's in great shape. With the lube, I pushed it all the way through. Now it's engaging. Because a little thing like that will also screw you up and make you think that it's not running right. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but you can see some junk. I'll move it through a path into the dark. Now his fuel was good, but I always pour through a filter. You may not be able to see it, but there's debris. It's like very fine, almost dusty, feathery debris. So I'm going to blow that filter out, and his fuel was good. He must have put new fuel together. I just poured a little bit. I put it back into here, but I poured it through a filter, and when I fill, I'm going to fill through a filter as well. This nice little can, right? Just kind of like cleaned it up. It's pretty good inside, but still, you don't take chances, especially with these little guys. All right, it's getting a little cold and windy out here, fellas. Okay, so what I did was I primed it with the primer. I think I have enough gas in it. It took a while to suck fuel through that long-ass tube. Let's prime it again. I'm going to put the choke on, and if not, I have it on full throttle. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. We'll try with the choke on first. All right, choke down. More primes. I hear a little gurgling, but I also hear air. So, throttle's up. Stop is off. Of course, that's my problem. Always. Oh, there we go. Choke off. Choke off now. Let's see.
A few moments later.
Let's back it out a little bit on the low as well. Okay. I think she's starving a little bit. It wanted to run. I kind of had to run the choked a little bit midway to get it going, kind of keep it going. Let's bring it on. Bring it on to full speed. Oh boy, it doesn't like the low adjustment. Let's bring in this screw. This is the idle stop screw. Bring it in more and try it again. Yeah, she's not liking the idle though. Crank it in. Is this even doing it? Yeah, it's actually in all the way. So there's a problem there. Let's just try it again. It should be warm enough. We may have to do something about that. Not bad. Almost 65. No more. I would leave it just like that. I was able to bring the idle stop down a little bit, around 3,000 and change. It feels and sounds about right. You don't want it too low because you goose the throttle. You want the throttle to come up. Plus, what the hell are you doing when it's idling? Shut it off if you're going to idle too long. It's not good for it to idle too long. She's getting well over 6,000 RPM. 66 and change, 6680. It's an older machine, so that might even be too high. It's singing, fellas. It's singing. All right, let's bring it in. It's getting cold. We'll check it again the next day, like Monday or something. It's Saturday. It's like Saturday night. I'm out of here. PB403T. 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 I just checked the sticker that's over here. It's talking about EPA compliant 2000 and up, right? So it's at least a 2000. Well, that could still be a 24-year-old machine. Last I checked, could be anything, but we know it's older. We can tell by its design. Adjustable carburetor, fellas. Fully adjustable, right? I can get to the screws. How about that?
Catch me outside. How about that?
This thing runs really good. I did some shorts, quick like little shorts on my cell phone and sent it over to him real quick. He's quite happy. Book says, let me see if I can remember. If not, I'm just going to put it in text. Something between 3,200 RPMs and something for idle, and between 6,000 and 8,200 RPMs for the high. Somewhere in there. Like I said, I'll put it up. I'll even drop the page and a link in description for the stuff you can get online, the specs and stuff. This thing's nice. It came back, it's singing. Nobody can say it doesn't sing. Now, when it's brand new, when everything is nice, maybe 8,000 RPMs, some machines might be a little bit different, tolerances in manufacturing. She is older, so they're giving you a range between, let's say, 6,000 and 62, 60 something. You want to be around there. We're at almost 67 from what I remember. Again, I'll fill all that in to 8,200. So we're in a range I think is good. Anyway, I think that's enough for this. I see you got a customer here. He's backing in, so he's going to want to unload. And I got to call this guy up and let him know. We got to figure out, what it's going to be, how much it's going to be. If you have one of these, it's definitely worth fixing if it's in decent shape and if it was well cared for. And he knew all about the mixture and everything. He was very careful about that. This person that had it, listen, there was almost like no junk in here. All right, so we're good there. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!